So this is kind of the final video of my little series on Eddie Bauer. It ended up being a bit short because, as you saw, the boots ended up being destroyed in shipment. I'm not sure if I should blame USPS for that. Probably. They're trash. Possibly Eddie Bauer being kind of this drop shipper garbage company they've turned into, unfortunately. But they don't have them anymore in stock in my size. They only had a few random sizes, and it seems like they're not going to restock it. I don't know. Maybe next year, next winter, they'll redo it. I'm not sure. But I was planning to do some discussion of that boot, how it compares to like nice boots, but that whole thing fell apart. As I mentioned, it's sort of indicative to my experience with Eddie Bauer, and that's actually what I want to talk about today. I was looking at my emails, took some notes about what happened, which really kind of set the stage for what happened this year, or yeah, I guess this year, versus 2023 winter, which I alluded to in another video, and how poor the experience has become. So basically, I had, like I said, and I think I mentioned this other video, I was doing a little bit of, Black Friday, the old days where we actually called it Black Friday because it was the day after Thanksgiving. And I ordered some stuff on November 23rd. This is 2023. And ordered a few more things on the 24th. They had a lot of heavy sales, obviously, Black Friday. I was ordering some stuff for a couple things for myself, but mostly for the wife and kids. Mainly like a nice winter coat for my wife that she liked. That they had again, all their stuff is like 50% off because their regular price is a hoax. I did get these gloves for myself, which I'll talk about a little bit. They're not great, but they're not terrible, and at the price, the 50% off, I guess they're okay. I had seen these in an Eddie Bauer store before, and I thought they seemed decent, but actually owning them, and it's possible the ones in the store were nicer than the ones you get online. I wouldn't put anything past this company. They're hella sketch. But I got a t-shirt for myself, which was terrible sizing-wise. It's weird, too, because I have multiple Eddie Bauer t-shirts from Costco in a large, and they fit great. They're, perfect for my dad bod. But the large I bought from their website was huge. It's like it's like a dress. It's so big. I mean, it's okay, but it's not something I would wear anywhere where I want to look presentable. I wear it around the house or doing yard work because it's too baggy. It's like a really large, very peculiar. Got my son a coat, some stuff for my daughter, some slippers for my wife. Just a few things. But these orders were on 11/23 and 11/24. A few things ordered one day, and then I went back shopped the next day. Again, the 23rd I think was actually Thanksgiving. I made some orders that night, and then we got home the next day on actual Friday, Black Friday, and ordered a few more things. Some of the stuff showed up on the 27th, so 3 or 4 days later, depending on which order it was, and then a few more things showed up on the 28th. So that's good. Like if everything had shown up within a week or less, that would have been nothing. It would have been expected, like par for the course, good, acceptable, whatever. Like I'm good. I'm happy with that. That's fine. I'm not paying for fast shipping. But one of the items, a winter coat for my wife, never got delivered and never got shipped. So I was kind of questioning, like, what the hell is going on with this company? And then on December 7th now, so remember, I ordered that jacket on 11/23 this is 2023, but the 23rd of November, I ordered this coat. All the other stuff has already been delivered, except for this coat. On December 7th, I get an email from Eddie Bauer that it was shipped, the coat. So the one item missing finally gets shipped. And I was like, okay, that's really slow that they finally ship it now on the 7th. This is like 2 weeks later. And I'm kind of curious because I checked the tracking info and it says it's not shipped. So the email says we shipped your item, but when you click the link to the tracking info in the email, it says it's not shipped. And it's like, well, why did you guys send me an email saying it's shipped if it's not shipped? And I'm telling you, the not shipped is like on Eddie Bauer's site. If you go to the tracking info, I think at the time, obviously I can't go back in time. I think it didn't even show up in USPS's system, but in their own site it says not shipped. The email says shipped, but their website says not shipped. Okay, maybe I'll give it a day. I give it a few days. On December 11th now, 4 days later, still says not shipped. Getting a little concerned, like what the hell's going on with this company? Reach out to customer service. Nothing. 2 days later after that, December 13th now, customer service says, no, it was shipped back on the 7th. And I reply to them, no, it wasn't shipped because it says on your website not shipped. And I think they replied, I was looking through these emails like, clearly not an American. Rest assured, your item was shipped on this date. I'm like, no American says rest assured. Like, you're clearly in another country. Outsourced customer service to another country. It's just trash experience. And it's not shipped, buddy, because guess what? When I looked it up at that time, it was still not shipped on their website still says not shipped. And if I plugged in the USPS tracking info on the USPS website, it says not found. And I was like, this is insane. And then it shows up, I think, finally, from my notes, on the 14th, which was the next day, which I don't have the packing, the label rather, from back then, but I don't know if there was a breakdown in the USPS system. Clearly possible. They destroyed the boots that I returned, and I did get my refund back, and I'll talk about that in a second. It wasn't as easy as you'd expect. So maybe USPS's system was broken, because USPS is literally legit garbage. They're the worst shipper. I never ship anything with USPS anymore. I'll gladly pay more for UPS Ground because they actually know how to ship things and do a good job. USPS is legit garbage. Basically, the end result was I ordered a bunch of stuff from Eddie Bauer on Black Friday in 2023, and everything but a coat came within 6 days of the order. Acceptable, totally fine. I have no problem with that. Jacket, 21 days. 21 days to deliver a jacket is ludicrous for something that's supposed to be in stock. So if they had told me USPS lost it, we're sorry, can you, hold on or something, that would have been a different story. The fact that they had no idea what was going on, if it was the USPS tracking, maybe that feeds the not shipped like label in their tracking system on their eddiebauer.com, or they screwed up and then they found some local drop shipper near us or something. Maybe the Eddie Bauer store just 30 minutes away from me, or the Eddie Bauer outlet that's like 15 minutes away from me. I don't know if they shipped it. Honestly, I don't remember looking at who it came from in the label. It probably was neither of those, but like the fact that they didn't even know what was going on kind of, to me, proved how poor, like they don't know. It's just like this entity. Customer service was trashed. It's just, apology nonsense, but it didn't actually get me any help. And I just really was disappointed with not only that experience, but as I mentioned, the fit of things. One of the things I got my daughter, she didn't like these gloves, as I mentioned. They're supposedly genuine leather. I'll hide my face so this focuses. But this is very plasticky feeling leather. It's a little too shiny, a little too perfect. But they're okay. The back's sort of like a suede. I use these in the colder months a lot. When I use these most recently, I use them skimming the pool, to keep my hands warm because they can get wet without your fingers getting wet. I have some nice Sullivan gloves, but they're just literally just leather. So as they get wetter and wetter, the goat ones are pretty good at kind of keeping your fingers dry. But any leather gets wet, you feel it. These have, I think, some type of, I don't know, they're cloth, like you see their cloth on the inside. I don't think there's Gore-Tex because they would advertise that. There's some kind of liner or something, I feel like, that kind of gives it some waterproofing because I've gotten them very wet. skimming the pool, like because you know the pole gets wet going under the water, and then you get a bunch of water on the gloves, and it seems like they stay dry. So that, and then you just general cold stuff. They're pretty warm for a thin glove. You know, I have some LL Bean winter like snow gloves that are significantly warmer than these, but they're also a lot thicker. You don't have as much dexterity with them. These are fine. I think I don't remember the price, but they were half off because everything there at Eddie Bauer is 50% off because all their prices are bullshit. I guess I'm okay with them. I kind of was initially like upset about it, and like these are shit. But then after I used them for a bit, I'm like, yeah, they're kind of crappy. But if I had bought them at Costco, I wouldn't have been too upset. Funny enough, these have the old the old Eddie Bauer logo, which is it's just dead from the site. So if you look at the site now, the website picture, they still sell this supposed glove, but it doesn't show any logo here. But you saw in my other videos that they've changed their logo. This is the old school logo from 1968 and beyond, through the I don't know the 90s or to the early 2000s, I think. But yeah, like it's just such a terrible experience. In converse to that, as I mentioned in some of my other videos, I like to buy stuff from LL Bean. This is an LL Bean shirt I picked up, and they have sales up to 50% off, but most stuff is not 50% off. This was like 10% off to 15% off, something like that. You order stuff, they start shipping things within a few days. You have it all within a week or so. There's no weirdness. There's continuity of what's going on. The quality, the stuff is nice. That's why I like it. These shirts last years and do well. Their gloves, I've bought winter gloves from them. They're great. It's just like a premium experience. I'm paying a lot more than the random jackets and stuff I'll get at Costco because it's better quality. And I get good communication from them, and then when the things ship, they're actually shipped. I go to the tracking info, and it's literally showing it's in progress to actually come to me. If you contact customer service, they respond to you. They're clearly, at least feels to me like they're based in the United States. I don't know if I've ever spoken to them on the phone, but I've heard stories. You actually get somebody, an American, and it's just easy and straightforward. So you're paying a little more money for a good experience. This is garbage. Like Eddie Bauer's legit trash, and it's just very disappointing. So I don't recommend them. It's funny how the plan for this was going to be a series of videos seeing how these kind of seemingly cheap Eddie Bauer boots stack up to kind of what you'd think they were back in the 60s and 70s and even 80s, where they were still kind of a legitimate outfitter. And then they ship me a pair of boots that get either destroyed on the way out of their drop shipper or destroyed by the USPS. They don't have them in stock anymore because they're clearing it out. And I have to send them feedback saying the boots arrived destroyed and send them pictures. They ask for pictures, and okay, we'll give you a return label, which at least that was decent. Like, I thought it was just literally giving them feedback, and then I got an actual customer service person to give me a label. So I shipped them back. They get delivered. Several days go by, wondering where my money is. I just haven't gotten a refund on my credit card. So I contact them again, saying, hey, these were delivered 3 days ago. When should I expect my refund? Oh, we're so sorry that you didn't get your refund. We'll go ahead and process that. So I got my refund. I saw they're crediting my credit card, the refund. So I got my money back. But it's like, were they ever going to give me my money back unless I contact them? I'm like, it's just everything. It's just such a terrible experience. It's They're crap. It's not. They used to be a brand. They're just they're Eddie Bauer in name only. They're literally they should just be sold at like Target or something. It's just like, this is not the same thing, but I was growing up as a kid in the 80s and 90s, and or Massimo was like a brand name, like Stussy and some of that stuff in the 90s. And I remember, I don't know, 10 years ago, around 2010 or something, Target started selling Massimo. And I thought that was funny, that it was like, oh, now Massimo is such a irrelevant brand that Target just picks it up as a house brand kind of thing. And I don't know, I think it's gone now. I think they have like Goodfellow and other stuff. So like clearly nobody cared. It's like an irrelevant name. Billabong, remember all those 90s brands? But Eddie Bauer is that. They're not. They had a heritage. You saw this catalog. They used to be a legitimate outfitter that sold nice watches, sold German optic binoculars, sold Filson vests, sold Russell moccasin boots, sold their own stuff that was good quality, Victorinox, Swiss Army knives, Buck knives, Gerber knives. They used to be an outfitter. They are literally garbage, all imported junk now. Customer service is overseas. Service experience is trash. The quality is synthetic garbage. Temu, Shen crap. They're junk. So, and I tried to buy something and I couldn't even get it, and it gets destroyed, and then they don't even have it anymore. So I'm just ending it here. This is literally how worthless Eddie Bauer as a brand has become. I'm having a Tom Collins, by the way, if you're curious what I was drinking. Yeah, so we're gonna end it here. Don't buy Eddie Bauer; it's junk. And if Black Barn Social Club, I think is his channel, he's assured me his Skyliner coat is good quality. I'm sorry, man. I'm sure it's fine, but it's not good. This is not Eddie Bauer of our past. This company is Shen or something similar in disguise. It's junk. It's crap. And they're milking a name and a heritage to sell to older guys like us because we remember, and I'm not even that old, but I remember when it was a good brand. Guys older than me probably remember when it was a legitimate brand like this, and it's not anymore. So that's the sad truth, but that's reality. That's the rub. I don't recommend buying anything from them. I will probably never. I can't imagine myself purchasing anything from them ever again. It's just they're now that I've seen the reality. The cloak was removed or whatever, and I see who they are from this experience. The last two winter seasons, I'm done. So they're dead to me. Cheers.